Alright, I'm ready to start fretting. As you can see, I put one in already. I just wanted to see how I was going to go about it. And I think what I'll do is I'll use these jaws, and I've got a 12-inch radius on here, which about matches down here, but it's a little more radius than I need up here. So what that'll do is actually put the ends in, and we'll be up a little bit on the middle of the fret. And then I'll take it down the rest of the way with the fretting hammer. So basically we'll get the fret started, and then I'll bring it down with the jaws. It's pretty loose. And then the rest of the way with the hammer. Alright, as I get down to this end of the fretboard, I want to make sure I'm supporting these frets from underneath. So I've got this heavy metal, chunk of metal that I put under here. Alright, I got all the frets in, and before the next step will be kind of file them down and get these ends beveled. But before that, do that, we got to glue them in. I'm going to glue them in with super glue, and one trick I learned was putting a little bit of paste wax on the board first, and it helps to keep the super glue from staining the fretwood around the fret. So I'm going to do that right now. Boy, oh boy, this old Johnson's paste wax, that reminds me of when the guy used to come to the house when I was a kid and do the floors. You know, they used to come by and wax the floors for you. It's got that smell. It's certainly making the fretboard look nice. But the whole purpose is to keep the super glue from staining the wood. So we'll do the super glue next. Alright, here goes. I got some thin super glue. Kind of got the guitar tilted. I'm just going to run a bead along the fret here. Just work my way up. Alright, that worked pretty well. It ran right down. You can see it just wick its way under the frets. I just had a couple little splashes, and there's one here on the second fret. And I'll just use a razor blade here to scrape that. That's all it takes. Alright, while that super glue is drying, I'm just fixing some of these holes on this headstock for him because the screws on some of the tuners were stripped. So I'm just using toothpicks with a little bit of glue, that fish glue, to fill the holes, and then we'll re-drill them. Alright, it's time to file and bevel the frets. So I'm going to put a little bit of drafting tape over the body here to protect it from the file. And I got this file. First we'll do the 90-degree. Alright, I got the 90 pretty good on this one side. You can see the file is running pretty smooth. So now we do it on this side with the 45-degree and we put a bevel on. Alright, here's a close-up of the side that I just did over here. See, those have been brought down to the binding and then I put the bevel on them. And these on this side I haven't touched yet. Alright, I got the fretboard beveled, and now what I'm going to do, I've got a 3-corner file. I'm just going to kind of roll the edges here, just take the burrs off. Alright, now I got the frets all filed, beveled, the burrs taken off, and I'm just kind of going over this with a fret checker, and because we're going to have to do a leveling on here, but I am finding, let's see, yeah, this one fret here, this is a 1, 2, 3. This one fret's definitely rocking, and I tried to hammer it down and reseat it. It is down, but it needs to be leveled. The rest of the board's not too bad. There's a couple slightly off. This one's the worst. Another one up here. So anyway, it's got to be, we'll do a leveling job here, and what I've got to do is get the neck straight. Straight as I can. Right now it's still got a little relief in there, or I'm sorry, back bow. So I'm going to take that back bow out and get it as straight as I can. Here we go, we got the neck straight. 0 on the gauge. And here's with a straight edge. Everything's touching till we get down over the body here, and then we get some fall away. So now it's time to level the frets and dress them. And when I do a fret level, I do tape off the whole board. All taped up, and a quick check shows that we're still straight. So now we put some blue magic marker on these frets so we can see what's going on when we're sanding. Okay, here we go. Same beam, but the 240 grit. Still got some wood dust in here. the second fret yet. We're getting the first. Alright, the blue shows me that I'm starting to hit all the frets. Some just lightly, but that's all I care about. The last ones to get hit I stop at. And haven't hit any of the ones down here because of the fall away. So we do the same thing with the paper. And we just concentrate on the ones down on the extension here. Alright, now we re-blue them, because now we got to crown them. I've got some crowning files here, 150 grit. And we just want to put the crown back on top of the frets here, and I re-blued them so, because what we want to do is just leave a small blue stripe on top of each fret. Okay, I got them crowned down to the 300 file, and now we're going to use micro mesh. And I'll start with the 1500. And basically, I'm just putting on this foam sponge here. And just kind of go back and forth across these. 3600. We've already done 15, 18, 2400, 3200. That was 3600. On to 4000. Alright, once I get up to 8,000, I did it with the sponge, but then I'll also almost do like a shoe shine across each fret. Okay, last step, I polish each fret with fine polishing compound. I did the first 4 frets here. You can see the difference, see, between the 5th and the 4th there. And these are taken all the way to 12,000 micromesh. Well, there we go. That's an improvement, huh? Frets really came out nice. And yeah, they feel nice and smooth, you know, there's no sharp ends hanging out. So, I guess we're going to start putting this back together, but just looking at this, I think maybe I'll try and clean this up a little bit here. I'll use that same fine polishing compound and get significant, or other, let's see, what else do I got in here? I also have some plastic polish, I got some cleaner in here. So I'll start with the more coarse rubbing compound, and then we'll work our way down to the polish. See if we can get some of these marks out. I might even try filling some of these big divots. I think you can use super glue and do what's called the drop fill. Maybe we'll do that. Alright, I'm going to try something just for laughs. This guitar is pretty beat up, like I said. There's a lot of scratches and everything in here. But I'm going to just practice on the headstock here. I'm going to try getting some of these scratches out with, I think 3200 micro mesh we'll start with, and just see see what we're dealing with. And this is just Murphy's oil soap and a little water. I'm just going to kind of do some wet sanding here. See if we can get out some of these scratches without taking off his logo. What's going on here? Not too bad. It did take out quite a few of those scratches. I'm going to try and avoid the logo this time. There's some scratches right here. I wonder if I can get out. Bad at all. I'm gonna give you a close up here. I guess I should have taken a close up before I started sanding to show you the scratches. But see, we got quite a few of them out. So that was the 3200, and I'm just going to progress up through the grits up to the 12,000. I took it right up to the super fine polishing. I think it's a polish, clear plastic polish. And it really, man, it did not come out bad. It's all hand rubbing. I wish I had a buffer. It's my next big purchase is going to be a buffer. But I think I'm going to actually do the whole body like that. See, this is it's got a couple good divots. Like I say, we can maybe give it some here on the side here too. Here, maybe we'll give it some super glue fill. Maybe I'll try the back. The back is a nice big broad surface to work on. See how the back looks. This is what it's like now. See, tons of scratches. Alright, here's the back. Now this is sanded to 12,000 micromesh. It did take out some of the scratches, but it's cloudy right now. So what I did is I did a quarter up here, and went from everything from the fine polishing compound to the plastic cleaner to the plastic polish, and that really brought the gloss up. So you can see the difference between that side and this quarter here. Now there's still some scratches, but boy, does that look one heck of a lot better. It's a lot of work, though, I'll tell you. So I'll post this because there's still a lot of time that I'm going to be spending down here rubbing this out. And then I'll pick it back up when this should be the final one where we put the tuners back on. And nut and saddle, although I might make a new nut and saddle for this, and we'll get it strung up and see how it plays.